big agenda.
Are we good? All right, the meeting is now in session. Let's stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Brian, can you do roll call?
Kelly Campbell. Here. Amber Fletcher.
Here.
Brent Garbett.
Here.
Mike Mays. Here. Brooklyn Barnhart.
Here.
Andy Bakke.
Here.
Thank you. All right, we will go right into public comment. We have allotted 5 minutes for each person if they so choose to speak to council. We'll start on this side over here to the lady and gentleman right there. Anything for council? No? Okay, right here in the middle.
Yes.
Fantastic. Come on up. State your name. Make sure in the microphone, state your name for the public that's viewing
Sure.
at home.
My name's John Lovell,
Okay.
and I'm British. Just want to get that out there for you.
Thank you.
Hello. This is my friend.
Jeff Carlson. There you go.
All right, welcome. How can we help you guys?
So I live in Maysville, Kentucky. I sound very native to there. We recently were putting on a show, 9 to 5, the musical, and unfortunately it was cancelled on us. And we have a lot of disgruntled people who were in the show who would still like to put it on. And I hear that there's a theatre around here that might not be getting used as much as you'd like. Can we find a way of getting in there?
So great question. And I'm sorry, I missed your first name.
John.
John.
Yeah.
All
With
right.
no H.
No H.
Yeah,
Okay.
What's
So we do have a theater right above us, obviously, that does get utilized. We actually have a group that manages that for us. And so that would probably be the easiest way is to get in contact. Jill Dotson is the name of the person.
That's why Jeff's here,
Okay.
I think.
Yes. I actually prepared a speech.
I didn't.
I am not good at just winging it like he is.
Okay. Make sure
so-
the microphone. I don't know if that. Yeah, there you go.
So a little bit about my background. I started doing theater here in the Gaslight Theater as a member of the Gaslight Theater Players back in 2001. And I had been in countless productions until recent years. The reason for my absence was due to constant issues trying to schedule with the Gaslight Theater rental company. We were told many excuses, such as dates being taken every other weekend by a band, or some weekdays were used year-round for rehearsals for my clogger crew. When we tried to book further in advance, we would be told that the calendar was not open, and that far in advance, we would contact later and be given the same excuses.
Okay.
Month after month, the place stood empty, aside from a few speeches, a single day Christmas activity, and a single day show of the group of cloggers, which all this could have been fixed by simply having a public calendar for it. So we're not throwing darts blind, trying to find dates, but they would not let us have consecutive weekends, just was off the books. So due to that, I left for other pastures with John here. And we find ourselves in need of a space out of desperation. And we attempted to book with the Gaslight Theater rental company. And again, same thing, no consecutive weekends. The cloggers used the theater. We couldn't even look in the theater. We were interested in renting for 3 weeks at least. We were told that we couldn't get in there until then, and that they would reach back out to us the day of, which seems not the best practice. They said early March would be the earliest we could take a look at it. I took the liberty of contacting the only clogger group that's done anything with this theater and confirmed they do not rehearse here. They have their own space in West Union. But when they do have a show here, they do get 26 days at least to rehearse. Let's see what else. Also, we found that it was said in 2020 that the theater would, or the company would have a year to make up and find some acts to get into the theater. And since then, that contract has expired by 2 years. So it'd be a good time for maybe thinking about a new group to lead that might be a little more accessible for people. I can say that the Gaslight Theater Facebook page hasn't been updated since July 2022. And before that, their last post was on March of 2021. So without having an open calendar to look at, I couldn't look on there to find what's been taking up all this time for them. And I had to resort to going to the Georgetown Special Events page. And in the last year, they had nothing in there advertised for January, February, or March. In April, they had a Grant Day presentation that took up 1 day. They had in May the Cincy Shakespeare. Oh, sorry.
So certainly appreciate your feedback there. I know I've been on council for 12 plus years. I certainly appreciate the work that Jill Dotson does within our theater and the events and things that she brings to the community. Not everything can be publicized or is always from a timing standpoint or from, whomever's taking care of that. Maybe it doesn't always get publicized 100% of the time, but I would like to take the moment to thank Jill for what the work she does bring to the theater. What I can say for the two of you is that I'm going to turn to my right here, and the best thing that you can do is probably give Kelly Jones a phone call tomorrow, and he can kind of serve as a mediator to if this is something that will work. I don't know, and I can't speak for Jill, but I don't know how it works tying up the theater for multiple weeks in a row. If that, she does things for the library and the youth and those programs. So I know she's probably thinking about some of the other things that go on during the day and things that don't necessarily get publicized. So I would say give Kelly Jones a phone call. Do you know the number to the village office? I can give it to you if you're ready. It's 937-378-6395. And again, it's Kelly Jones that you'll want to speak to, but certainly he can be the mediator in that and work with Jill to see if there's anything that can be done. Does that sound good?
Is there a list of, like, I heard that was a committee. Who is on
It's not
that
a committee.
committee? Is it
It's,
just Jill that runs it?
Dodie Staker, Jill, the council voted roughly 3, 4, 5 years ago because it's an undertaking for the village to kind of be the scheduler and master of events. We needed a group or organization to really promote the theater, and that's what we do. And Joe kind of has a little more, they're set up as their own entity essentially.
Yeah, we had an agreement with them. I can take a look at it.
Yeah, can we also see about a yearly schedule being produced so that people can call ahead? It sounds like there might be a little bit of problems there, but I just think that as a business, it should be ran as a business, and scheduling is important. And when you got people wanting to rent it.
How much time are you hoping to get if you land a place like this?
Ideally, we'd like to run the show for 2 weeks and maybe be in there a week previous just to rehearse in the space, make sure everything works.
Just a one-time show, like a year, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, essentially, we'd like to be able to do this, as a regular thing. I was actually employed until recently at the Washington Opera House in Maysville, and had a very successful season, bringing in a lot of people to watch some great shows. Unfortunately, that relationship's ended, so I'm looking for a new place to come and do some stuff.
So 3 weeks total?
Yeah, in the venue, yeah.
And is that just once a year? Or are you guys looking at multiple times a year? Or
We'd just like to see if we can use it for this.
Yeah, we're looking at just this for right now, and
And then if it goes well, then go, hey, how would you like to do this at least once a year?
it'd be nice to see Jill. Before I say anything else, Jill does do a lot of work to put that together. In all fairness to her, but I think sometimes it's a lot too.
yeah, it might be
So
just a lot to
maybe
deal
there's
with.
more
Yeah.
conflict because of her timing than it is and her schedule. So, but I hope something works out. That sounds good.
All right, just get in contact with Kelly Jones.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thanks for coming. You're welcome to stay or you're welcome to go. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jan, anything? No? Couple in the back? Mr. Gilliam? Again, state your name for the people viewing at home.
My name's Steve Gillum. I live here in the village. I just got a couple things to ask. I'm going to start coming to the meetings more regularly, and I like to see I guess the packets like you guys look at for the agenda throughout the meeting to be available for the public so we can follow along and, put down who voted for what, stuff like that, just to see what you guys are seeing instead of hearing it. Not all of us comprehend that easy to where we can follow along with you guys. And you don't have to make 25 copies, just a few copies, for what the regular amount of people are here. And then the second thing I like to go over with is short story is my son hasn't lived in this village for over 3 years. And our tax person keeps on trying to get, how can I say, well, it wanted him to go to mayor's court because he hasn't filed taxes here in 2 years. And I've taken a letter unopened that was addressed to him. It's been sent back to you guys saying that he no longer lives here. Second letter I took to Mayor Cowhall before the elections. And then he gets this letter to go. I would say it's a letter. All I got was got to go to the post office and pick it up. So, and then all of a sudden I find out that checked his address by his driver's license instead of where he files his taxes at. And he has what do you call the rental agreements where he lived in Eastgate. She won't accept that. She wants his, W-4s from where you filed your taxes. I think you guys need to look into, because she's only here 2 days a week. RETA is a tax service for townships like you guys and villages, stuff like that. Aberdeen, Ripley, Bethel, all these have it. You guys can check with them on how it works. They go off percentage of the money. But if I have a problem, I can call them. They're available, 5 days a week throughout the entire year instead of 2 days a week. If something happens to her, God forbid, if she's in a car wreck, hospitalized for a while, pass away, you guys are stuck for a while. So I'd really like you guys to look into the RETA program for the tax service for where we can pay our taxes, and it can also be done online instead of coming here to fill out the stuff, coming here to pay the stuff. You can actually, their taxes is when you fill out your 1040s and do the federal, it's on there also, so it's all taken care of at once, so you ain't got a whole bunch of different steps you have to go through. So I would like you guys to look into that, and I thank you guys for your time.
Thank you for your input. Sir, anything for council? Would you like to address council?
No.
No? All right. Did I miss anyone? Nope. I think we're good.
We talked about.
You're good. Thank you for joining us this evening. All right, so let's move into next on the agenda, which is we have a couple special presentations. So first and foremost, we have a new officer that we are going to be swearing in tonight. So Assistant Chief Enlow, do you have any opening comments before we make sure you
This is
Mike?
This is good. Maggie, if you want to stand up here.
You can carry
She
the mic.
is actually coming from us from Williamsburg. She's a police chief in Williamsburg. Decided to make a career change and join us here in Georgetown. She has numerous background in investigations and obviously administration. So we're very, very proud to have her in this village with such experience that she has. Will definitely be a help to us and the officers that we have already. So that's all right.
We are glad to have you. Welcome aboard. So come on up and we'll get you sworn in. I'll be nervous. It's only like my third or fourth time doing this, so if anyone's nervous, it's me. All right, raise your right hand. I state your name,
I, Margaret Summers,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Charter and ordinances
the Charter and ordinances
of the Village of Georgetown,
of the Village of Georgetown,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will faithfully,
and will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of a member of
of a member of
the Georgetown Village Police,
Georgetown Village Police,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's gonna take a picture.
Okay.
Okay?
You can talk to that.
Yeah.
Maggie. Sign. This one's gonna go for you, Keith. Just need you to sign right there. And then I'll sign it, and this is yours. Today's the 22nd.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you guys are welcome to stay, or you're welcome to head out if you need to. Okay, guys. Next on the list, we have another special presentation, and I know this is Enloe, our Assistant Chief Enloe as well.
Am I there? That'd be okay?
Wherever you
Will
would
be able to
like.
hear me up there?
I'll turn this around.
One of the things that I want to do as the assistant chief is I want to recognize good deeds that a lot of times don't get noticed. A lot of times you see on social media, even right here in the village, I see friends that post cops doing things, and some of the comments that you see are, man, we need cops like that here. Or, man, I wish we had cops like that here. But what a lot of people don't realize is that you do have cops like that here. And you just don't see it because sometimes this is a thankless profession, right? When we do the good deeds we do, we don't go tell everybody about it. I've witnessed many people, officers on duty, pull money out of their pockets and give to kids for food or hotel rooms, or personally buy toys to put in their car. And these are officers that are living paycheck to paycheck too. So one of the things that I really enjoy is a lot of times you hear the negative about police. You don't see the public come in a lot of times and say the good things that police do. So when somebody reaches out to me from the public and says, hey, your guy did a good job, I'm going to tell everybody about it. And that's what I'm here to do today. It's nothing, it's a big deal to us, even though it's just a piece of paper. A lot of times, just like everybody else in the position, you may not make the most money, but sometimes just somebody telling you, good job, man, you did a good job on that. Sometimes that's all we need. And that's what we're going to do here today. So I'm going to read this letter to you real quick. This is a letter of commendation for Patrolman Luther's compassionate handling of a death notification. He has no idea why I'm doing this here. He wasn't sure if he was getting in trouble or if he was, getting something good. So it says, Dear Patrolman Luther, I'm writing to express my sincere appreciation for the exemplary professionalism and compassionate demeanor you demonstrated during a recent death notification as brought to my attention by a family member of the deceased, a Claremont County deputy. Your ability to navigate the delicate nature of a death notification with empathy and care, not only your commitment to your duty, but also your deep understanding of the human side of law enforcement. The positive feedback from the grieving family speaks volumes about the impact of your thoughtful approach. Your actions not only upheld the highest standards of our department, but also contribute significantly to our positive community image. Here's a brief passage from the message that I received from that deputy. I wanted to tell you that Luther had to do a death notification for my stepdad yesterday, and my mom was very appreciative and impressed with his kindness and professionalism. My mom said he looked really young. However, she was really impressed with how he carried himself. Please let him know that he deserves an attaboy with a little heart emoji. So I want to personally commend you for your outstanding conduct, express the gratitude for you for the comfort that you provided during this challenging time for the family. Your actions truly embody the principles of professionalism, empathy, and care that define this department. Thank you, Patrolman Luther, for being an exemplary member of our team and for your unwavering commitment and support of our community. And this is your official copy. It was signed by myself, the chief, and the mayor. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Impressive job. I think I'll echo what Sean said there around the fact that there's just not enough good shared. So I'm glad that we're really sharing this stuff and people are here to see it as well with the officers that came in to see him being recognized as well. Thank you. Have a good night. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. All right. Following along on the agenda, we have, it's under special presentations, but it's actually a general business item. So let's go ahead and move into general business. First thing we have there is actually the Brown County Historical Society. Ned Lodwick was here last month, I believe it was, and talking about the progress or the building that they wanted to improve, and yes, the cabin. So he did approach me within the last week. They are looking to see if the village could help with this from a monetary standpoint, if there would be a donation that we could give to them to help, since it's kind of within our footprint here, if you will. One of the things that he did say is that I don't know if everyone's heard, they were going to be doing the Grant Association fireworks this year in April, and they have decided, and the village typically helps with that, so we typically give them money to do that event, and they have decided to not do it in April, but to team up with the Courthouse Square Association and do it on July 4th. So, and with that, they're not really going to need money from the village. There's already other monies in play for that event. So his point was, if you're not going to be giving to the fireworks, is there any way that you could find some money to give to the project that they're doing on the cabin?
Didn't that end up, I think we approved 10,000, but they only used 5, wasn't that right?
Yes, that sounds correct. Yes.
Does that sound unreasonable? Make a motion to put the 5,000 toward the oldest log cabin in this area?
You got 5 others here. What do they think?
Would you explain to me again so the 10,000, that's what you do every year?
So we have for like 3 years.
They've only done the 2 years. They've only done the fireworks for 2 years. So initially it started with the ceremony. I don't want to quote the number of years, but they did a special Grant Day ceremony and they wanted to do fireworks. And then it was so well attended and such a great event that they wanted to do it last year as well. And we thought it was a great event too. And then this year with the Courthouse Square Association wanting to do fireworks, then they thought it would just be better to team up and do one event.
Do you know if is that 10,000, was that just part of it, or did that cover the whole,
Part of it,
just part of it?
yes.
But we didn't spend the full 10,000,
No,
right? We
it
only
ended up being,
spending 5.
we allotted 10,000 and then they didn't need the full 10,000 after they did their fundraising.
One thing on that building up here on the fairgrounds, though, it is, again, one of the oldest original cabins in this area, from what I understood he said. And then also it holds a lot of history. That's the Old Timers building, correct? Over there, that has all of the old pictures and a lot of the historic things in our community.
It's the cabin next door to that.
It's okay. But don't they have a lot of that older significant stuff in there too as well?
Yeah, it's set up like it would have been set up during the day.
Like a living museum.
I'm the biggest tightwad in the world, but I'll tell you, I think preserving stuff like that's nice for our community. A lot of families that walk through that every year at the fair.
You guys, if there's intention to do this and you know what you want to do, making a motion gets it accomplished.
Do you set the 10,000? Is that something that you guys would bring up every year when you were planning on doing fireworks every year? Okay.
But we hope to escape with only spending 5. So
No, I think it's a good idea.
I think I'd like to make a motion to give them 5,000 toward that.
A motion has been made to donate the 5,000 to the Historical Society. Is there a second? I second that.
It's been seconded by Amber. Brian, can you do a roll call?
Campbell. Fletcher.
Yes.
Corbett.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Bucky.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, thank you, guys. All right, next item on the agenda is approval of the regular session of council meeting minutes on page 1 from February 8th. Take a look at those. And if there are no changes, I would entertain a motion to approve.
There's one change.
Okay,
In the second paragraph, the attendance, it wasn't in there.
okay. Do we do that by,
Go ahead and add that in, and then I would have to see if there's any other amendments, and then move to approve as amended.
okay. Are there any other amendments to the meeting minutes? Yep, I see you're listed under the voting. Yep, and then the public comment. Okay. All right, so we could approve these meeting minutes as amended if there is a proper motion.
I'll make a motion to approve amended.
Amended meeting minutes.
Yeah.
All right, Mike has properly made the motion to approve these meeting minutes. Is there a second? Bink has seconded that. Brian, roll call?
Campbell.
Yes.
Fletcher.
Yes.
Corbett.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Bucky.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, page 4, CDC meeting minutes. Anyone on that committee? Is there anything to review with council, or you may speak now? If not, just take a look at those.
When we meet, we're going to discuss, as you talked about, setting our goals and our plans. So some of these things are already, I believe the nuisance animal legislation just needs to be voted on by us. So we'll bring that to the next meeting. And then we are going to have a signed committee meeting. I'm going to see if they can meet with us prior to the next meeting that we have. So we'll discuss that ordinance that we're working on as well.
Any questions? All right, moving right along. Option C under item 6 is your budget, review of the budget. That was emailed to everyone, and it was discussed in the budget committee meeting earlier tonight. The ask there is that you guys review that budget and come to next meeting with any questions. The hope is to be able to pass and finalize that budget at that meeting. Any questions on that? Okay. Kelly, do we have a fiscal officer report? I see that on the agenda. I didn't know if that was something. Oh, shoot, sorry. Huh? Nope, we're not voting on it tonight. They decided not to vote on it. And Natalie said that was fine.
Yep.
So again, on the budget, next meeting is when we intend to vote on that. All right. And also along the way, if you have any questions on the budget, for those of you that are newer, you are welcome to reach out to Kelly and or Greg with those questions. All right. Fiscal report. Sorry, Kelly, I turned to you on that. That was actually me. So starting on page 7 of your packet, you're going to see the payment listing. Take a look at that and see if there are any questions. We'll try and answer those. If not, we will take those.
The Village of Georgetown, the 50,000, was that like a transfer for something to pay out, or what was that?
Great question, Mike. Kelly, I don't know.
You would know?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. I've circled it, Mike. It's a follow-up.
Check with where.
All right. Other questions? All right. On page 10 of your packet is the card expenditures. Take a look at those. If there are any questions. And then that is it from the fiscal officer report. All right, guys, we'll move right into roundtable. We're moving quickly tonight. So Mike, I'm going to start on your end. Mike, anything for the group?
Just wanted to say it's exciting to look over tonight when I left here for a short break between meetings before this one, and the whole town square is pretty much filled up. They got a central committee meeting over there in the new Republican headquarters on the square. That was really nice to see. Great to see some new police officers being hired, especially ones that come with a lot of education. I see a lot of good changes for our community and leadership. And I want to thank the police and fire for all they do. That's it.
Thank you. Brooklyn?
Nothing for council.
All right. Kelly Campbell?
I just wanted to thank Officer Luther. That was for an outstanding job. I know a lot of times people take for granted that's kind of a call nobody wants to make when you have to go to somebody's door. So props. Appreciated for sure. So thank him. And when do we want to set these meetings? Can we do that now? Okay, so let's see, I'll just do the ones that I'm part of right now. The budget committee meeting used to be quarterly. Mayor, do we want to make that more than that? We had talked about it.
It's a lot to pack in.
Say it again. The budget
The
used to
budget
be,
committee meeting, we usually meet the fourth Thursday of January, April, July.
and there's so much going on in that committee, in my opinion. I'm not on the committee, but in my opinion, I think you definitely need to have it at least monthly.
I agree with that. So those budget committee members, myself, Brooklyn, and Mike, I would like to continue the way it was it 6 o'clock, I believe? Yeah. Are you fine with the 6 p.m.? We'll start with that. And
Is that a conflict to put it in front of one of the meetings?
When are you proposing it again? I'm thinking here.
Fourth Thursday? There's already meetings on the second Thursday, so we would have to go to the fourth if you want to have it on a regular council meeting night.
want to do the 4th?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the budget will be 6 p.m. the 4th Thursday.
We can get another rundown of these schedules, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I'll make all the changes on the schedule that I handed out last meeting and hand them back out.
The human resources that I'm on, it would be Bink, Amber, and myself. That was just as needed, right? HR?
Yes.
Unfortunately, in HR2, I will tell you, there is a lot in that committee that needs
So let's
addressed.
set it for monthly for now, and if we feel like we can just
Mhm.
stretch them out. how about a 5 o'clock on those 4 Thursdays? So it'll just be 5, 6, and 7. Will that work?
I'm assuming, Brian, you know the schedule. Okay. Okay, so, and you'll, maybe sooner than later, if you could email out the final schedule.
I'll get it out
Yes.
tomorrow.
All right, so does that mean then the next budget committee meeting would be, heck, I can't even think, in March, at the end of March? Is that what you're proposing?
The budget committee, we need to have a special meeting then.
Oh, is the next budget is next week? Budget and HR next week, is that what's scheduled on the 29th?
Yes, at 7 o'clock, right?
Okay,
Yeah, budget's
Oh, yeah.
budget's at 6. I know you,
I got 7, what I wrote down.
it's not 7.
No.
It's
Okay.
at 6.
hold on.
They scheduled a utility meeting, we didn't schedule a budget meeting.
Yeah, that's correct.
That we schedule it's for, so next,
Emergency services was at 5
yep,
and HR is at 6.
And utility at 7.
So you're probably right with yours.
and then there's a utility at 7 that night, so basically,
You don't have another budget committee scheduled other than this one on the 4th Thursday of March. which
Yeah,
will be-
meeting utilities March 14th. Is that right or not?
It is.
It's,
Yeah, but you also scheduled one for
7 o'clock.
Next week.
I thought Thursday night at 7.
next
we
week.
did.
Right? Yes,
And then the one on the 14th is the regular scheduled one.
okay, I got you.
And is that good for everyone? That cadence on the first Thursday, you're gonna have your utilities meeting at 5 o'clock? Are we going with that? I know it's a lot. That wasn't discussed in your utilities meeting. Why don't we knock out the March 14th meeting? Take that off the calendar. You have your next meeting on the 29th, and you guys decide your cadence from there on out.
Well, maybe we need to leave it there.
I'd kind of like to keep that meeting date just because of the things we discussed earlier as
Okay.
far as, and I'm sorry to push for that. I think that there's a lot of opportunity in that.
That's fine. So you want to keep the cadence of the first Thursday of each month at 5 PM?
Mayor, we have, the last one I know on emergency services, I know we have them upcoming. That was a need to as well. What do you think?
I wasn't really on that committee, but I'm certain there's plenty to address. Why don't you have that first initial meeting, prioritize your, and then if you want to do something set, then do it then.
I think so, because it also helps, you'll be sitting down at Rob and you'll be able to see what works for him as well.
Yeah. Okay,
That's all I have.
all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dink, anything for the group?
Just last time I mentioned trying to get some sports going in the park, try to use our park a little bit for other things. We didn't get a whole lot of feedback as far as like volleyball or softball, but we kicked around the idea, no pun intended, of having a kickball tournament in the spring. So we're going to get some details out there about that. Just it's going to be a tournament, see what kind of interest there is. Kind of fun for everyone. You know, you don't have to be super athletic to play. So we'll get more information to you on that. That's all I have.
Fantastic. All right, Amber?
I don't have any.
All right, Andy?
Just to echo some of the things, congratulations to Officer Timmers. I actually went to police school with her. She's a great officer. And good job for the assistant chief and Rob both to be able to get somebody to Georgetown like that. That was a great hire for you guys. Congratulations, Officer Luther, too. That is definitely probably one of the worst calls you'll ever make as an officer. So other than that, just trying to continue some of the work we've done. I know we talked about sidewalks, and we have brought that up tonight, and we'll continue to work on that. Kelly Campbell spearheaded some stuff, and I know he's been out in the village identifying some problem areas and kicking that around. So that is in the works. That's just not something we can fix overnight, but that is being addressed and worked on by several people and committees on this council. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Mr. Jones, anything for council?
Not tonight.
All right. Joe Bond, anything?
No.
All right. Well, you can see in what we just went through as well, the meetings are listed on the bottom there, the upcoming committee meetings. And Brian will also update the meeting list and get that out to everyone so we can kind of get those planned out for the rest of the year. outside of that, is there any additional business that needs to be discussed this evening? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Kelly Campbell has made the motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Andy Bakke. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
All right.
Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
You are still live.
I know you did.
Still live, guys. Still live.